Hello and welcome to MotorCult, not MotorCult. Whatever. Hello and welcome to MotorCult episode 44. I'm Eric Berger.
When we have Mocha on as a guest,
Oh, dude,
we
yeah,
have to call it
MotorCult.
MotorCult.
I'm game with that. That sounds good. Anyway, I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Snitsky. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to the actual Saturday.
Yes, we're back to a normal schedule. We're gonna do 2 episodes.
Yep.
Jan's not here. She's busy doing family stuff.
Yeah, it's a kind of a rare occasion now where I have the channel 3 and 4 microphones off.
Yeah, it's weird.
Usually we've got at least one of those active, so... Anyway, moving right on to beer. What do you got? You got
just got
Northeast?
Bell down
Same
right
here.
There, yeah. Just opening it.
We like new beers and all that kind of stuff, but Northeast is so
expensive.
good. It is too, yeah.
It's really expensive.
I went to a work happy hour last Friday, and I almost never pay attention to happy hour. When they mention it, I go and look through the menu or whatever, and they had like $2.50 20-ounce grain belt premium or Northeast on tap. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm not even looking at the nice beers. I'm just gonna go straight for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're paying for it,
right.
makes perfect
I
sense.
Yeah. I don't have someone else comping my bill, so it is what it is. And speaking of not comping bills, let's move right into first topic here, which is a recall.
Yeah.
Ford recall, a pretty big one.
Shocking.
The best-selling.
Actually, this was big enough that it got onto NPR Marketplace, which is pretty huge for a recall.
Yeah, and I was gonna say NPR demographic doesn't seem like the types that would normally buy one of these Ford vehicles either.
Well, actually, Marketplace is pretty hilarious because the same episode they also did a show on the economic impact, or a segment on the economic impact of heavy metal in Finland.
Huh.
Apparently, in Finland, their second biggest export is heavy metal music.
Is that actually?
No,
Contribute
seriously.
to a GDP? I suppose
No, it does. It
yeah.
really does. And actually, yeah, it's like way up there. So Finland's a perfect country because
Finland is pretty great.
Finland has it's produced more WRC champions.
Mm-hmm.
Rally racing is a school sport.
Yeah.
It has the hardest driver's test in the world.
Yeah.
And
one of the latest dates acquisition too.
Yeah.
It's like you start it when you're 18, but sometimes you don't finish it until...
But the thing is, you can start doing the amateur rally racing when you're 13.
Right, yeah.
Which is great.
Yep.
Because really all we care about is racing. I like driving around, but I mean, like when you're a teenager, like just being able to go out and race is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then...
Especially when it's legal and sanctioned, basically.
And then, like, their normal pop music is, like, Bathory. It's just
I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing it's probably metal.
Yeah, it's like black metal. Like black metal is they look at black metal, which is like I know, right? No, they look at black metal like the heaviest metal of heavy metal.
Okay.
In the same way that we look at hip hop in America.
Oh, okay.
It's just a regular.
That's just
thing.
what happens on all of the radio.
You turn on the radio. Yeah, there's like their number one. The band that's got number 1, 5, and 7 on their music charts this month is a death metal band.
So you're saying all 5 of the top ones are?
No, those 3 spots. They have singles in those 3 spots, and they've been like consistent on the top 10.
Okay.
And it's just like it's not like not good metal. It's not like Nickelback or something. That's not really metal,
right?
But it's like actual like heavy Cannibal Corpse metal.
You're thinking of Creed.
I believe, that's what I say. No, but it's like Cannibal Corpse metal, like actual metal. So yeah, Finland's really cool. That is a tangent.
To sum up, Finland is very cool. Back to the domestic automaker. So the Ford F-150, that really stupid full-size truck that is the most popular one, whatever. Apparently, the seat belt pretensioners, which are little explosive devices, they're like a little rocket charge inside of a steel tube that shoots ball bearings into the reel. So right before you crash, the vehicle knows that, and it actually fires this thing. And what it does is it pulls the seat belt really tight across your chest.
Haven't they been doing that for years without explosives?
No, pretensioners have always been explosive, I think. Maybe some of them are electric motor, but all the ones I'm aware of are explosive pretensioner.
I've never like in my years of dinking around in like cars from the early 90s and 80s, like they have pretensioners and stuff, and
all those are explosive. I think like the Mercedes S-Class or something might have, or anything with like the forward sight mitigation thing, that might use electronics just so it's like reusable. Because like if this fires, like you have to replace the entire seat belt.
Because what I was thinking of is the last seatbelt I tore apart was 86 GLI,
Okay.
and that one didn't have any. It had like a pre-tensioners kind of thing, I guess.
Huh.
But what it did was after a certain amount of G-force,
Yeah.
it just locks the seatbelt up.
Well, that's just
Like
an inertial
super.
reel.
Oh,
That's
okay.
different.
Okay,
So
it's different. Okay.
that will lock it. Those have been very common mechanical. Those are actually really interesting and how they're engineered.
Yeah,
That'd
they
be
are.
an interesting thing to talk about in the future. But no, the device I'm talking about actually it won't just lock it in place. It will actually rewind the belt a pretty significant
Oh, wow.
amount. Yeah.
Okay.
So what it does in most of them, it'll actually shoot ball bearings into like a gear. It'll shoot it between the gear and the housing.
So it just
it'll
locks it in place.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty efficient way of doing that. I took one apart on the Fiat I bought crashed a while ago. It was really cool.
You know what else is efficient if you just did like a 4-point harness?
Yeah, that would be pretty cool too, and probably would save a lot of complexity and cost.
Yeah.
Wow, way to go, automakers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
why are you overthinking
so the
this?
rocket charge inside of this thing is normally pretty well self-contained,
Yeah.
but apparently in the B pillar of some 2014 and up F-150s, it's so well like sealed up in there, and there's like gas filling or something in this B pillar. Apparently, those two things together, fire and gas, combined with stoichiometry, catches the truck on fire when you crash it.
That sounds like something you would assume happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I when I crash a vehicle, I'd like to very much not be on fire.
So how many car accidents have you been in your life?
2.
Okay.
I think
How many
two.
of those had pretensioners?
How many of them?
How many of those cars had pretensioners? with the
Both.
stupid little rocket
Both
thing?
of them.
Both of them did? Okay.
None of them fired though.
Okay, so I've been in 4 car accidents in my life.
Okay. What were they in?
Andrew Chase's 1990 wagon.
Okay, that probably didn't have any.
No, I definitely did not because I cracked that dashboard with my face. But I was fine.
Okay.
I might just be hard-headed.
Oh, Jesus.
We got T-boned in, again, Andrew Chase's.
I'm noticing a pattern already.
Maxima.
Okay.
I got rear-ended in my CRX.
Okay.
And then T-boned again in a Mazda MPV.
MPV might have had pretensioners, depending on the year.
And it was like a really early second
no.
gen.
Yeah,
Super
probably
early
not that.
second gen.
Nah.
None of those cars are pre-tensioners. I'm fine.
Right.
The Wagavan was 45 miles an hour into a tree.
Damn.
That I was fine.
The Element pretensioners did not go either because it was a rear end impact.
And then the Maxima was probably about upper 40s,
So what you're
low
saying is all of
50s
these
into the
are
side of the
fairly
side of the
significant.
Maxima.
And you survived.
The CRX was rear-ended 30 miles an hour. I accelerated though, so it limited the damage. And then the then the MPV was like 20. I've never been hurt in a car accident. I had a bruise after the wagon van, but that was it.
Yeah.
I don't see why this is a required thing. It
You
seems
have to
ridiculous.
try so hard to kill yourself now in a car.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So I mean, I get
think-
why they do it, but it's really expensive. Like this is why cars get totaled so easily now.
I think, you know what? They're probably just trying to get it, so whatever they do to help you is the most destructive way possible
Okay.
to make sure that like they don't have a lawsuit or something if
Well,
you
I
get
mean,
into another car accident and something is structurally marred and was missed.
And it is smart, but I mean, a lot of people that sit with good posture, the pretensioner device doesn't do anything more than an inertial reel.
Yeah.
'Cause if you lock you in a correct position, that's what the pretensioner is trying to do. But I mean, the reason why they do that is it's less calculation when they fire the airbag because it knows how far away
That makes sense.
from the
That
airbag
makes
you
sense
will
then.
be. So it's usually when it's a pretty significant need. I get it. It's a good safety device, but the fact that it can't be reused,
Yeah.
like you have to. I mean, seatbelts are expensive.
Oh yeah. And I
So-
have a sinking feeling that unlike Honda, Ford does not have lifetime seatbelt warranties.
No, and those are usually warranted against defect too, not in crashes.
Actually, you know what? I think next episode I'm gonna go into Honda's lifetime seatbelt warranty because I have quite the story about that. But anyway,
Wow. Okay.
listen to us on Wednesday.
Do you have more to talk about Honda seatbelts or about 2-liter Volkswagen engines?
No, I really want to talk about that actually, because Ford had their horrible issue with the seatbelts with their
The pretensioners?
pretensioners.
Yep.
Which is on all their trucks. You get that. Volkswagen is a class action lawsuit for all of their cars. Because I think if you account for the 2-liter turbo and the TDIs, that is almost every chassis that they have has a massive government mandated recall or a class action lawsuit.
So you're talking every VAG product that has the 2OT in it.
Every single one. Yep.
Yeah, that's almost all of them.
That accounts for it's got to be like 90% of Volkswagens.
I would think so. For sure, units moved.
So you guys are probably wondering what this class action lawsuit I'm talking about is. You're probably frantically trying to Google it, so you're in the loop. But I'll just tell you. So there is a really common issue with the 2-liter turbos.
Well, there are a bunch
Yeah,
of
there's
really common
actually
issues.
I was describing to a customer yesterday, and they were trying to say, well, what's wrong with the 2-liter turbo? Like, why don't you like the engine? I said, think of the engine as a rectangular cube. Every single face of that, all 6 sides of that.
A rectangular cube doesn't compute.
Yeah,
a cube has to be
it's a
equilateral.
long, cube.
That's
is
a rectangular prism.
A prism. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A rectangular prism. If you look at every face of that, there's a very common problem that happens before 120,000 miles that would cost you $2,000.
At least.
At least $2,000.
Yeah.
So the 2-liter turbos have such common issues with timing chains going out on them that there's actually a class action lawsuit about them. And if you go to Volkswagen,
wasn't the piston ring thing in a class action suit too?
Yeah, that was too.
God, that engine is such a turd fire.
Yeah, it is an awful, awful engine.
I know we rag on the 2.0 TSI a lot, but it deserves all of the criticism.
No, absolutely. I will stand on the record whenever I have a customer coming in and they're doing a pre-purchase inspection on a Volkswagen 2.0T, and I'm at a Volkswagen shop.
Yeah.
I warn them of everything that happens to them. I say, it's not a matter of this might, this will happen to you. Do you really want
you can
this
roll
to happen?
the dice,
or do you want to find one with a 3.0 supercharged or a 3.2?
Yeah.
Or do you want to grab like a Jetta with a 5-cylinder?
I'd say the 5-cylinder or the
2.0 non-turbo.
The 3.0 supercharged. I almost called it turbo. But yeah, I mean, even the 3.2 90 degrees got issues, and the VR6 does, but like they last a lot longer before
the VR6 does definitely have its issues, but the problem with the VR6 is most VR6s are getting close to their timing chain issue, which is get like 180 at 200,000, somewhere
and
around
the 3.2 90 degrees like 20,000 before that.
Yeah, and but no, the 5-cylinders, the first
those are really good.
I think it's like 0506. Those ones had timing chain issues.
Really?
The very first year.
I didn't know that.
But after that, they never did. And the 5-cylinder also is the power plant behind the world's fastest Volkswagen, front-wheel drive Volkswagen.
Yeah, and it's also, they won't say this, but like all of the hard point specifications are the same on that crappy 2.5 as they are on like the TTRS and the RS3 engine. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think there's a little bit of a different cylinder head, but that is the same engine.
And then they also have, they still make the 2-liter non-turbo.
Really?
Yes.
I know it's not the ABA anymore, but it's that basic engine, right?
If you look at it, it's an ABA with a plastic intake manifold. That's exactly what it looks like.
I can't believe, what? Is that like base Passats that still have that? Or
base
what?
Jettas.
Really?
Yep, base Jettas.
Honestly, if I was going to buy a brand new Jetta,
that's the only one I'd buy.
I would probably buy a 2-liter with a manual.
Yeah, a 2-liter non-turbo manual. That's the only one I'd ever buy.
Yeah.
And it still smells like a Volkswagen. Gives me like PTSD to like giving people horrible phone calls.
So it smells like crayons?
Yeah, so anyway, I want to get back to this lawsuit because...
Sure.
All right,
we're really good at
my shop, usually to correctly do timing chains, you come in at about $2,500.
On a 2.0 TSI?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the same on a front-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive?
It's kind of a ballpark.
Okay,
because you don't have to do much on the backside because it's all on the up front.
Right.
But so it's about $2,500 at my shop. Dealers apparently, some of them have been charging like $6,500.
That's more than the vehicles are worth.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people class action lawsuit. So if you had your timing chain done at a Volkswagen dealer and you can provide complete service records of the vehicle, every single oil change and everything, they will refund you entirely the $6,500.
That's pretty rad.
That is pretty cool. If you go to an aftermarket shop, they will give you a percentage.
Like a prorated? Okay.
Yeah, they give you a percentage. Like I think it's like 10% or something. I'm not sure. I couldn't find the actual number that they gave.
It looks like it is prorated as well.
Oh, okay, there it is. Perfect. So yeah, like less than 60,000 miles, and less than 5 years ago, it's 100% of your money back.
which
if
is
it was
all of them.
if it was 10 years ago at 100,000 miles, that's 25% back. But see, the thing is, what gets me here is almost every single one of these timing chains is done. Actually, yeah, within this range between 60 and 100,000. So yeah, you can get somewhere between 70 and 25%.
I think this table is sort of half acknowledging the problem.
Yeah, exactly. But
like all of the typical failure ranges are covered.
yeah,
Look how many lawsuit name company, whatever things, the lawyer companies are listed in this.
oh yeah,
paragraph.
it reads like a book. It is just insane.
Smegman, Wright, LLP, Seeger, Weiss, and Barron.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, no, I think my shop alone had 4 people on Monday come in after they announced this was actually happening. I think we're up to about 12 people because we had about 4 a day. So yeah, about 12, somewhere between 12 and 16. We had around 4 a day come
That's
in
a
getting their
lot
service records for
Of
these.
TSIs.
I think this would be really quiet. I think Volkswagen's would be really quiet about this, but I think financially this has the potential to be about as impactful, if not
Dieselgate?
more, than Dieselgate.
I think so too.
'Cause
That's a lot of payouts.
It's a lot of payouts, and
And they're
things
not getting a car back to resell.
exactly. And that's the thing is like Dieselgate, you can mitigate your losses like to a degree. Like lost sales, Dieselgate is going to do more. I
yeah.
think between Dieselgate and the 2.0T engine fucking existing.
And most of the Dieselgate engines were 2-liter turbocharged engines.
Yeah, they were. Well,
But the engines weren't the problem. It was
no, that was the tuning. But
right.
yeah, it's not a good thing for Volkswagen. If there's a person I don't want to be right now,
it's the Volkswagen Auto Group.
a Volkswagen executive is pretty high on that list.
Because you know you're going to get escorted out of a building at some point and put into a BMW diesel police car.
Exactly. Which ironically had its own recall.
Oh yeah. Well, it is what it is. I'll still buy my mommy's car when she's done with it.
Yeah, no, it's wagons are cool. I think what a lot of people get here with Volkswagens, they go, oh, it's a wagon. Oh, it's available in America. Oh, it's got a turbocharged engine and it's got manual transmission.
That's getting harder to find. Wagons in North America.
Yeah, I know.
Manufacturers
really
aren't bringing them to us anymore.
and I can't even get a minivan anymore. It's like I have to get either.
Well, they still sell minivans here, but like the ones we get are all exactly the same, and they don't have they're not the smaller European minivans with
It's called the MPVs.
option. Yeah,
That's what it's actually called. That's the class. Is an MPV, a
they
multi-person
don't call
vehicle.
them people carriers.
No, I mean like a Renault Espace was called an MPV.
Oh,
And
really?
Mazda MPV was because they just didn't have a name for it.
So what are wagons classified under?
Estates.
Okay,
Yeah.
but isn't that just from like Germany?
No,
Oh.
that's just most of Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the United States of America, where we love wagons, but we don't buy them.
Yeah.
Do you know that Toyota? Okay, a couple of months ago, we talked about the new 2019 Corolla hatch.
Yes.
That's a 6-speed. Awesome. Cool. They also make a really, really sexy wagon version of that thing. And you know what? They're not bringing it to us.
Of course not.
Look at that.
That's really
I just brought
cool.
it up on the video thing. That
That's
thing
a
is
perfect
it's super
car.
cool looking.
I would be okay.
And it's reliable, I bet.
That has the same suspension as the Corolla hatch, I'm sure.
I'm sure it does.
If they lifted that and brought to us as a semi-crossover,
Let's stretch the wheelbase.
if they brought that to us as like a semi-quasi-crossover thing, like an Outback,
Yeah.
I'd be 100% okay
Yeah,
with
put
it.
cladding on it and raise it in it like a Golf All-Track.
Or an Outback,
Dude,
yeah. Also,
same
speaking of
thing.
that, wagons not selling in America.
Yeah.
The best-selling Subaru is the Outback, like consistently every single year.
Yes.
So balls to wagons not selling.
Well,
But, I mean-
that thing's like a CUV, and how high and stupid looking it is.
It's still just a lifted-up legacy wagon.
I've never
that you-
seen one of those lowered. Do they look okay?
They
when
look
they're
actually
lowered?
really cool lowered, especially with the cladding.
Okay.
Because you can get, how they have those kind of stupid 1-inch blank spaces on the wheel wells?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a plastic piece of cladding that you can get for like $200 that goes over that.
Nice.
It looks really, really good.
So it's like people retroing the current all-road. They'll buy like the Euro street trim or whatever, and they'll put it on them and they'll lower it. And
Yeah.
actually look pretty good.
Or the Crosstrek.
Yeah.
Ian, one of the guys at Modern Automotive Performance for a while, he had a Crosstrek, and he got it because he kept getting tickets in his other cars, so he needed something slow. But he got a Crosstrek. He put in just like normal Impreza suspension,
Yeah.
and like
I suppose you could do that. It's based on the same thing.
it's the same thing. Yeah, it just bolts right in, drop the car down like 2 inches, and it looked really good, especially with like the more aggressive Crosstrek wheels. Like the wheels, they're love it or hate it, really. I mean, most people hate them.
Most of the Crosstrek wheels I'm okay with. There's a new...
Their newest one, I'm not a big fan of.
The new wheels on their Outback,
I
don't like.
Subaru, they are the master of making the horrible wheel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have you seen the new CRV 3-spokers?
No, I've not.
Those are really terrible.
I mean, I'm thinking about like the 2011 or so Outback 6-spoke where 3 spokes are narrower than the other 3 spokes.
Oh, no.
That wheel gives me anxiety every time I see it.
Look how good the wheels look on this Corolla wagon we don't get.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Yeah, they're nice.
They look like RAV4 wheels.
They kind of do. But they're like an inch bigger because we're not going to get them in this country.
Of course not. Also, that's another thing I'm not a big fan of is the whole giant wheel fan.
Yeah, I like a nice meaty tire on a reasonably sized wheel because we have such shit roads here.
I like the look of a meaty tire. I don't want to look at a giant wheel.
I also don't like the 1970s where we had like 14-inch wheels and 75 sidewalls.
There's a happy medium. Like I'm okay.
Early 1990s where we were running the bigger tires on the 15s and 16s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now we're talking.
Early 90s. I'll even go to
80s.
Yeah, I'm going to, but my reasoning for that is you still had a meaty tire.
Yeah.
But you're getting these like weird wheel offsets. Like on the Celica Supra, like that's a 14/8.
Yeah.
But it's like a factory wheel. It's a -20 offset.
Well,
it's just really cool.
Cars had smaller brakes back in the day.
Oh, it's very apparent on the Cressida.
And
or not the Cressida, the Celica Supra.
Right.
Like that was a determining factor of me getting rid of that car.
Right. But I mean, there are reasons behind going to a way higher offset wheel. I mean, it's a little easier to work around.
But if you look at this,
yeah,
like this Corolla, like you have that massive wheel, but inside that massive wheel, you have a pretty small brake. You can probably go down an inch on that wheel. And
easily.
Be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you could put 16s on this thing, no problem.
My van can go down an inch.
The reason I think why we see this more and more now is because in order to do all-wheel drive, you need a high offset wheel.
That's
not
true.
Have bad suspension behavior, and also this carries a lot of torque here. So it looks dumb.
Yeah.
But there's a good reason behind why they do it. So.
And you can also, if you're using a corporate engine size on a smaller car, it's easier to have the narrow wheelbase. Or
as
the
long
narrow,
as it's not a German corporate
not the narrow wheelbase, the narrow
track width.
Track width. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And still fit everything inside of it. It's just easier to just bump out to like
for sure
plus 45 offset, which looks stupid.
But I mean, the platforms are so flexible now that they don't have to stretch the wheel offset. They can literally just move the hard points.
Also, probably the best factory wheel I've ever seen in my life. The Mitsubishi Starion, those 5 spokes.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That might be the best factory wheel
really
of all time,
wheel.
and that's like a 16 or something.
Although I would actually, do you know what? This is gonna probably surprise you. The Tesla Model 3.
I like those.
The best with the aero covers off.
Yes,
that's like the best looking factory wheel I've seen in a long time.
Yes, that
looks
really
like
cool.
Lightweight BBS wheels.
You know what else is actually a really cool wheel?
What?
If you take the aero covers off of Priuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have actually really cool wheels underneath.
3rd gen Prius without the aero covers. Yeah, I agree.
I saw those wheels on. What was it? It was something. It was some sort of.
Taking the covers off my V when I rented it.
I think it was a FCRX7. I saw it at like a track day, and
probably look pretty good on there.
Yeah, and like he used them for track wheels. Like they're perfect for it.
Sure, they're unbelievably light, but they're probably really narrow.
They're kind of narrow,
but you can cram a Hoosier on it, whatever.
Well, I think it was like an autocross day, but it was but for like an FCRX7, you're not making it. It was like a non-turbo. It didn't make a ton of power, but like the lightweight wheel, and it made sense. It was a really sensible decision for that car. And it looked really good.
If I end up doing the 1st gen Insight K24 all-wheel drive swap, which I found an Insight in Mankato for $600.
There you go.
I might do that. It's a 5-bolt car, but like I still want to maintain. Actually, it's a 4-bolt car. I'll be getting 5-bolt stuff, but like I want to maintain the look.
There's probably more for the wheel size that you're gonna need.
Yeah.
You probably have more options if you stay 4-bolt.
But the thing is, I have to run the 5-bolt in the back, I think, because I don't think I can run a 4-bolt all-wheel drive Honda rear end.
I think if you use that's a good point.
So like maybe if I got like a wagon van.
I was originally gonna say the EP3, but then like that 4-leg hub never came with all-wheel drive system. So yeah, we'll have to go 5-bolt. Which
I mean, it's fine. I'm probably gonna end up
Prius wheels
doing this anyway. But the thing is, like, it would be way easier if I left the front 4-bolt and made the rear 5-bolt, just for the sake of the swap.
That'd be hilarious. Well, actually, no, I mean, because isn't the Insight based off the EK, like the front end?
You would know.
I don't know.
Well,
if something, if
I don't think it's based on anything because it's all aluminum little front control arms.
Well, I mean, like the geometry always. I'm not sure, but if it is based off the EK, which would be totally plausible for Honda, you could get a Insight and then you could do a 5-bolt
like
swap.
Do like GSR hubs and stuff. Right?
Yeah, you could run like Integra stuff or in like NSX brakes and everything.
I want small wheels though. I mean, the thing's gonna boogie no matter what. I'm gonna try to pull up the Craigslist ad for the one I was looking.
Yeah,
at.
actually, the NSX brakes aren't that huge.
Here it is. It's got the old like what do you call those wheels?
Oh, dude, CRX buttons.
Yeah, so it's got buttons on it.
Yeah, dude, I got those in my Civic. I love those wheels.
Right? It actually looks really proper on the first gen Insight.
Those are some of my favorite factory wheels.
So yeah, it's a rebuilder, and it currently has a motor, trans, and battery in it. But I asked him if he would take less for it without that, and he said yes.
Perfect.
So I'm probably gonna buy that and shove a K24 in it.
I would be about that. That'd be perfect.
I'm gonna try to make it all-wheel drive, but if I can't, just front-wheel drive.
What are you gonna do with those buttons?
Well, when I have other wheels and tires, sell them to you.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, so that's the plan for the Element. Just kind of sneaking that in there. But
I don't need them. Those are just
they're
up
need
there.
Most of the stuff.
Those wheels, like, do you ever have like a list of like wheels or something?
If they come up for sale, you just buy them.
You just buy them.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's my. Oops. Thanks, Jana.
She's still with us even when she's not with us.
No, that's my like 4x100. I will always buy this if I find it in good condition, like wheel.
I feel like you have probably several of those.
I've got one for each wheel size for cars I own.
I have a list of things I will never buy if something's in it, on it, or with it, and that is any German corporate 4-cylinder turbo engine made.
Yes.
From 2011 and on.
I think you're right. We should move on, but I want to.
Sorry.
No, that was just a tangent and a half. No, I think we should go back to the 2OT because like this really should be said.
We haven't reamed these engines enough.
Yeah, no, it's not
and it's
just
not just the TSI. Yeah.
No, BMW.
The N20 and the B48. Yeah.
The Mercedes 1.9, because of course it's a 1.9 with Mercedes because they don't care about homologation.
They just like to mess with numbers for fun.
Yeah.
That's
Mercedes theirs sucks. Audi's, which is Volkswagen, sucks.
I feel like there's probably other ones that are really bad too, but I'm blanking on. I think the Ford one's pretty good.
The Ford ones are pretty decent, but I mean, like it's
Who else
really
has a 2OT?
it's really the European ones.
Yeah.
Because what they're trying to do, especially the Germans, and it's more with the Germans than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because like Ford or somebody, they can take a hit on performance and be okay.
Right.
Germans. Every German car is known as like being like, well, to steal BMW's catchphrase, the ultimate driving machine. Like they're all known. Like everybody just assumes German equals performance.
Right. So they stress out their engines a lot more.
Yeah. So you get these cars where it's like, well, suddenly you have these ridiculous fuel economy and emission standards that you have to meet next year.
Exactly.
And you also can't take a hit on performance because you don't want to end up like America in 1977.
Because then your people won't buy your shit.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're getting as much performance as they can out of it, and they extend the oil change intervals to be able to hit the emission standards because oil change does affect your emissions. Where
they work
Volkswagen
the oil stuff into your carb standards in your cafe.
Yeah, so like Volkswagen says 10K, BMW says like 15 or something.
They used to,
Mercedes,
now they're down to 7,500 again. Thank God.
Good. What's Mercedes? They're probably something.
I don't know.
ludicrous.
Probably like 50,000.
Yeah, you just don't.
Lifetime oil.
Yeah, lifetime oil.
Yo, dog, you got any of that lifetime oil?
Here's your lifetime 0W10 oil. But
0W8.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's just one of those things. Like, really, it's not even a brand thing. It is entirely just like this has to happen, like the way it is, and they've put themselves in a hole where I think if
they could engineer around this, but they don't.
Yeah, they could.
Because the engineering team doesn't engineer these things with the ridiculous oil change intervals with them.
No, it's.
I mean, if they did that and they put wider chains and bigger guides and different oiling systems, they could, pardon me, they could get away with it.
You probably could, but
these engines were all engineered.
But then you have overhead,
right,
as well. So you have to.
I think it'll be curious to see the next generation of the corporate German 4-cylinder if it gets way better.
I don't think it will. In all honesty,
I mean, honestly, they got to keep their dealers in business, so I think you're right.
Well,
I don't think it'll get better.
I don't think it will, but the thing is, they have to guarantee that engine for the warranty.
Right.
And they all have names that they can rest on.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying I'm buying a Subaru to a normal person, they're still like, ugh. You know, you still have to get people in the door.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you're saying I'm buying a BMW, people are like, dope. Like, that's the thing, is they don't have to do anything. They could literally make a turd, which you're doing with these 4-cylinders, and be okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, these only come in the cheap cars. When you get to their flagship models,
true, yeah.
When you get to their flagship models,
Except for Volkswagen.
well, yeah.
Because you can get it in a Macan, the 2OT.
Well, that's not flagship.
That's still a flagship mark, though. I mean,
I'm talking like stuff like the 911s, the S Class, the 7 Series.
Yeah, okay.
These cars, like the real like Halo cars, those ones aren't getting these engines with these issues.
Well, in
because
BMW land, they're getting worse engines.
These engines are, I guess, but
V8.
these engines are designed to be the one that like this is what we can do.
Right.
Whereas these other ones are like, this is our moneymaker. We don't care about these people.
We make 700,000 of these a day.
Yeah. Whereas like we make 700 of these a year.
Right.
You know?
For the V12s. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
for the V12s. We don't sell as many. And
Right.
the 2OT allows us to make,
Yep.
you know, the V10 like R8.
My Fiat 500e is why they can make Hellcats and Demons.
Exactly. So, but that's the thing is with the 500e, that's more reliable.
Oh, way more reliable than
Yeah.
any of these.
So, I would just say, I think it should be our top tip would be if you are looking to purchase a German vehicle, do not
buy a corporate
Don't buy the 4-cylinder.
4-cylinder.
Don't buy the 2-liter turbo. It is entirely okay to get a cheaper Japanese car or American car or something.
Or just get the 6-cylinder engine.
Because you know what's cooler than an Audi A4 with a 2OT sitting in a shop getting timing chance?
What?
Driving a Chevy Cruze with a manual transmission to work.
Yeah, wait.
So you can afford something that's actually
Especially
awesome.
if it's a diesel hatchback.
Yeah, like that's the thing
so
is
much
like
better.
Would you rather have a kind of cool car that you can barely afford, or would you rather save up to get something actually awesome?
Well, you know the answer to that in the United States.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
People are like, oh, I want an Audi. I'm like, dude, that has a 3.0 V6, a CVT, and it's front-wheel drive. The Audi.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know how to pronounce Audi? Really?
Sorry.
No, they don't know how to pronounce Audi.
Audi?
Audi.
Audi.
There you go.
Oh, thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to move
Yeah,
on
move
to a
on.
less depressing topic.
Yeah,
Let's talk
please.
about EVs, because apparently this is like halfway turning into an EV podcast. Whatever.
No, EVs are great.
EVs
and
are wonderful.
Yeah, that's the future of the driver's car, I
So
think.
you're aware of the BMW i3,
Yeah,
clearly. I assume Corey
it's
is too,
rear-wheel
even though
drive.
he's retarded.
It's cool.
Yep. So they started off with the 24 kilowatt hour battery, same
Yeah.
pack with the Samsung cells as my Fiat. In 2015, they upped it to a 30 kilowatt hour. Pretty awesome. Next year, they're upping it to I think it's 39 or 40. We talked about it on the podcast. But there is a third-party company in Germany that is doing battery research for lightweight, high-density batteries. And
Cool.
they took an off-the-shelf i3 with a 32 kilowatt hour battery, and they put a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack in it. And it will now do 435 miles on a single charge.
I will do that.
I'm like, I don't know what that costs, but like, I would consider getting a pretty aggressive
'Cause
car loan to have that.
That would also improve performance too, right?
Well, with a bigger motor, it would. It
Is
might.
the motor like maxed out? Or?
Well, yeah. Usually they're sized to be pretty much
okay,
full
'cause-
bore.
well, because like with these motors, like with the
Yeah.
Insight, what a
Yeah.
lot of people do is they run cube batteries, or not cube, leaf batteries.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and
yeah,
the leaf battery and the electric
Oh, for sure.
motor.
Yeah.
Just because you're sending more power to it.
Yep.
Just you add like 20 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely would be a power bump, for sure. I mean, that's just inherent with how fast they can discharge. The first-gen Insight used a nickel-cadmium battery,
Yeah, I know it's bad.
and the Leaf uses lithium-ion. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A lot better.
That's
but
why people.
These are both managed lithium nickel cobalt batteries, but you know, I hope this is. I mean, it's cool. I mean, they didn't modify the interior at all. So the fact that they fit that into a relatively small city car means that manufacturers can do this. And like, granted, the pack in that thing probably costs like 30 or 35 grand.
Well, what I think this is just. I'm not caring about manufacturers right now. What
Right.
I'm looking at is the future of performance tuning
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So
for sure.
the future of hot rodding.
Yeah.
Because in 10 years.
Jegs is going to be selling inverter kits.
No, in 10 years, it's going to be really, really hard to sell hey, buy this straight six car
Yeah.
to a teenager.
Right.
And the teenagers, these are the kids that they're going to continue on the automotive gearhead kind of movement.
Yeah.
I'm not even say petrol head. It's because petrol heads they're a dying breed. It's a gearhead thing.
Well, I hate the term gearhead, and that's more
I know
like
it's
a
it's
regional
annoying.
thing,
It's an annoying term. I like petrol head, but it's not accurate. But no, the car enthusiast. These are the people who are going to be moving this on, and the fact that you can take something like an i3 and now you can get more performance out of it.
Yeah.
Every single person that's ever said the electric cars are the death of performance are really
They really haven't driven a modern electric car.
no.
Any modern electric
They're getting all the cotton mouth in the world from eating their shirts. Like it's just
That's a very graphic metaphor. Just picturing a really unhappy guy with like syrup-drenched shirt and a fork and knife going into his mouth. Like,
he's just really dehydrated, like all veiny and dehydrated and gross.
It's like watching
yeah.
Corey eat a flapjack.
Yeah, it's a disgusting thing. So no, I'm really happy. I love EVs. I think they're really cool.
So yeah, I'm right there with you. I hope that this becomes more commonplace, and I'm glad that there's companies out there that can modify the damn thing.
I know it's going to become more commonplace.
I know, but like how quickly? Like I just want somebody to like just make something that like really like damn, I need that right now.
Oh yeah, no, I'll say I'm gonna give it 5 to 10 years before we start seeing some
Yeah.
like really silly EVs because like
I want it to be in 3 years because I think that's when I'm gonna roll that thing over 100,000 miles and void the battery warranty. And then at that point, I'll probably try to change to a different car.
that'd be hilarious. But or if you just kept the car and did like a Tesla battery or something, if I found a way to do
Right?
that.
Yeah. If they open up the encryption for the controller, for sure, I would modify it now. And put
I
a sync
also think
controller
that that if Tesla opens up their if you can start doing Tesla stuff with performance,
right.
that would make Tesla the Ford of EVs
Yeah.
because
for sure.
the Ford V8 revolutionized everything, and
Yep.
if the Tesla, battery can revolutionize EVs,
Mm-hmm.
this will be a whole nother era,
Did you just say
whole new
nother?
era.
Thank you.
A whole new era of performance tuning, and I think it'd be just the coolest thing in the world.
I agree. I mean, I don't care who does it. I hope Bosch does, just because.
You know else?
What?
This is just a little small thing. You know how much easier it's to be street racing with
When they
silent
can't
cars?
pinpoint it with sound.
They can't listen to the guy with the open header, like 3.8 V6 Grand Prix ruining everything. Yeah, no, now it's going to be a guy with the totally silent
Pegging it off
500E.
the 4,500 RPM limiter in neutral.
God.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, if you have a Grand Prix and you were thinking about buying a 2.0T, buy a 2.0T.
Yep. Yeah,
That's,
they're
that's
good.
the only car worse than 2.0T.
But just go buy a.
I just don't want to listen to your garbage V6.
Anyhow.
Anyway,
Yep.
I want to talk about kids getting into cars.
Like physically?
Like, no, not physically, but like getting involved with them.
Oh, okay. And you're talking specifically the generation upcoming, or?
Sure. When you first got into cars,
Yes.
I must be blunt. Did video games like Gran Turismo have anything to do with that?
No.
Do you
I
know
got into
anybody
cars
that?
before that happened.
Do you know anybody else that did?
No.
Corey, me, 66% of the people in this room, both got into cars from games like really got into like being about them from video games.
We just got nice cars.
Yeah. Okay.
IRL.
I'm sorry that we didn't
got
grow up
some
in the
old
1%.
Used BMWs.
I'm sorry we didn't grow up in the 1% with top hats and silver
I
spoons.
didn't either, but then we got there and it was great.
But anyway, no, the thing is, for a lot of kids,
Mm-hmm.
like you can admit that video games had something to do with them getting
My
into
nephew
cars.
Cohen's a great example of your point.
Exactly. Me,
Although we also have a lot of fun.
every single person that knows what a R32 GTR
That is a sweeping generalization.
Do you really think there was that many?
How is your formal fallacy working out?
So, Mike, all right. How many people do
I'm
you
glad you
know
pushed
that
there.
are 13 years old
None.
that go to like a comic book store and find like an options magazine, like it's all in Japanese, and go find a picture of R32? Nobody does that. You find out about cars like this
Comic book
from
stores
video
don't
games.
exist anymore.
I don't. Yes, they do. I go to them every day.
Oh.
Not every day, but once a week to buy my comics that I subscribe to.
I would like to never ever see a budget of yours.
It's awful. But anyway, so this is kind of old news, but Toyota, they aren't licensing cars to video games anymore.
What are they, Porsche in the 90s?
Yes. And you know what their reasoning is?
What?
that apparently people aren't buying cars because you can get them in video games, and it's video games' fault that they're losing sales.
Are you fucking serious?
Which to me means that my means of conveyance I can just own digitally. I never knew this entire time.
But, Ryan, you wouldn't download a car. I saw it in a TV thing on the movie theater that one time.
So
From the MPAA.
this entire time, my 700 horsepower all-wheel drive 2JZ swapped A86 I've got in Forza Horizon,
Which is totally believable.
I can drive to work every day, apparently. I didn't know I could drive that to work every day, and apparently I'm just a fool. So,
Wow, you've been duped.
yeah, I've really been duped by
Duped
physics.
by the video game. Sorry, physics.
Physics.
I had totally missed the ball on that one.
Physics. That duped me.
Apparently. Oh my god.
No, I think this is just totally ridiculous because, I mean, all right, so there are literal car companies, like not most, so there are a lot of car companies that will debut a car in a video game
Yeah.
to get it into people's hands, to go, look at this cool car,
Like,
and then people go and
The
buy
actual car kind of isn't ready and sucks right now, but here's what it's gonna be.
it. Exactly. Like, nobody knows what the W Motors Lycan is unless you've played, like, Forza.
Corey does.
Didn't Porsche do that with the GT2 RS or whatever?
Probably.
With, Forza?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they
Forza.
literally,
Thank
they
you.
literally did with Forza 7.
Forza.
I don't care. They literally did with Forza 7.
You're never gonna get a Forza sponsorship that way.
No, I'm not. And you know why I'm not? Because they don't have the EG Civic in the game.
I don't want a Forza sponsorship. I want a Gran Turismo sponsorship.
You know, in all honesty, everybody says that, but really, Gran Turismo is a lot more boring than Forza these days.
Forza.
I don't care. No, I just it's one of those things where I think that Toyota, they're trying to find a scapegoat for the fact that it is just unbelievably expensive to own.
I didn't even notice the title of that article. Toyota exec. Realistic video games make cars unnecessary. Wow.
See what I mean? I've been duped.
That guy's got his finger on the pulse of America, boy.
I've been duped by physics. This is also like really old. It's from like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's Gran Turismo 4 or something.
Yeah, it's not good. But I mean, no, it's
Look at
so
that
they've
TV.
they've been on this path of like limiting things. But when I recently picked up Forza 7 because it was
Forza
I don't care. I
Was
recently
that
picked
next
up,
to your Austin Martin?
Yeah, fuck you. I recently picked it up because it was 40% off
Sure.
on the Windows Marketplace, which is, you know, I see 40% off, I have to buy it.
Windows Marketplace.
Windows Xbox.
Yeah, I know what it is. I'm well aware.
Well, because I was playing Forza Horizon and which I bought. But no, I saw it was discounted. And I went in there. There were literally no Toyotas. The only Toyotas in there were like Arctic trucks, like
Ooh,
Hilux.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Every NASCAR Camry.
They didn't have an FJ Cruiser?
No.
What the hell?
And
I'm out.
then like a single Le Mans car.
Which Le Mans car was
I
it?
don't know.
Oh, okay. One
I
of the
don't
cool,
like-
late 80s
Well,
ones?
because I was all right. So I was looking for like an FJ40, FJ Cruiser, like a
Whichever one has
GT86,
3 windshield
anything,
wipers.
literally anything.
A Supra.
They had nothing. So like the A86s and everything, they weren't there.
Well, at least we have like legacy car racing games that have all that
Yeah.
stuff.
So
in it.
I immediately went back to Forza Horizon 3 and got into like a 72 Corolla and was really happy. But I mean, still.
All is right with the world.
Yeah, and but that's the thing is like actually Forza 7
Thank
is actually a really good game.
I have
But
no doubt that, I mean, the Forza team does a much better job at making new games.
Yeah, they really do. And,
But
well,
they don't make a better game.
No, they don't. I still think that probably one of the best semi-simulation racing games I've ever played is Gran Turismo 4. But the thing is like 5, 6, 7, I think in sport, all weren't good. They just weren't.
And the fact that
period.
it's like 7 years between releases these days
It's
pretty
it's 7
annoying.
years in between releases, and they still, or not still, because they finally got rid of them. But for Forza 5 and 6,
Yeah.
not Forza 5 and 6, Gran Turismo 5 and 6,
Mm-hmm.
they still had the car models from 4.
Yeah, well, that's not entirely true. They had a bunch from 4 because they didn't want to. They couldn't port the new ones fast enough or
Yeah,
whatever.
they had-
so
they
they
had
had like a core group of brand new,
They
really gorgeous.
They had 1,000 cars. They had
Yep.
200 ones that they actually modeled, and
Yep.
everything else
yeah, and
awkwardly
they
looked
had
out of place.
800 Gran Turismo 4 cars, like
But-
driving through all their pixels.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's like when you're playing the game, like you're
Yeah.
in this like immersive experience when
Yeah.
you're in your
Which is fine. That's kind of like an earlier release game, but
when
they
you're
didn't fix
in
it.
your Ferrari F40,
Ooh.
and then you get it, then you look in your corner, and then you have a Mazda R380 drive by with all 200 of its pixels showing and shining pixelated non-anti-alias glory.
That's like that. Corey, who did the what was it? Doom 3, the down sample to make it run on an old Voodoo 2 graphics card, and they took all the 128 by 128 texture resolutions and dropped them to like 16 by 16.
That's hilarious.
That's a lot like what the game looked like.
No, that's exactly it. It's just ridiculous, and I think.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I just the whole world of video games right now just it has me up in arms. But Chris, world in cars has me up in arms. I'm just seeing her flailing all the time.
Do you know what has me up in arms? Do you see that Doug DeMuro started a second YouTube channel?
What?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I
Why?
didn't click on it. I don't know. I didn't click on it. But now he has like page shills in the beginning of his videos.
I
and stuff
think
too.
we should move on to our Patreon and get me off this rant. So our Patreon this week is what is
favorite
our,
automotive.
What is /
What are our favorite
you.
automotive shows or YouTube channels? And then there's 2 subcategories, which I'll help you out with once again.
Thank you.
Entertainment and education.
and educational.
I think let's just combine them to edutainment.
Edutainment. Yep.
You can't see Corey's face, but it's very livid. So I don't know. Do you want to go first or should I?
Yeah, I guess I can.
All right, sounds good.
So automotive only. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna separate YouTube from TV shows.
Okay.
YouTube for entertainment. I'm gonna have to say is honestly I feel gross saying this. Donut Media is really up there for me. Like they did these up the speed videos where I talked about like an entire car, and their first one they did on the Skyline.
Yeah.
It had me just. I was ass mad and actually because there's just a bunch of shit they got fucking wrong.
Oh, dude.
And so I wrote an article on Japanese nostalgia car, but they've actually gotten like way better now, and they actually do some like really cool stuff. Like
Did Jalopnik poach that one?
no, they didn't.
Okay,
luckily,
good. Wow, nice.
they've actually calmed down on poaching my shit.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so
Is
maybe
your shit getting worse or are they getting better?
I don't know. It might be getting worse.
God damn it. You weren't supposed to say that, right?
So the yeah, so Don't Media, they also have like Wheelhouse, a bunch of other stuff, and they upload really consistently. You know, it's funny, pop culture references, but it's also, you know, fairly, you know, educational. They still occasionally get stuff wrong, but it's they actually have a team behind them that actually does more fact checking now.
Yeah, I feel like a
which
lot
is
of the
huge.
donut videos I've watched have been technically pretty good.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot better. They're not like saying Nissan's first race car was the 2000 GTB, and then I wanted to fly to California and strangle everybody there because that's just not true.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, there's probably a bunch of other Nissan people in California
That were all there, like throwing bricks through their window.
with love notes taped to them.
I think also with entertainment, 1320 videos consistently pretty solid. I am
They do a decent job.
I am Ty Boogie. They're okay. They used to be a lot better than they are now. Now it's like the same 5 cars racing against each other and just isn't as good.
No, that sounds riveting.
Educational. Jalen Garage, number 1.
Okay.
That
Interesting. It's educational. Okay.
Oh, it's super educational.
No, there's a lot of good facts in there. That's surprising.
That's my definite number 1. Speed Academy is up there. A couple of guys from Modified Magazine before it was a spin-off of Super Street Magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one that makes that awesome video game that's coming out?
Games would be such a pile of shit. I was really excited for it, and then I looked more into it, like, wow, this would be terrible.
I was writing the blurb for like the episodes on 43, and I was just chuckling the whole time writing. I'm like, the awful Super Street game. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
No, so they do these big, huge builds, kind of like Mighty Car Mods.
Yeah, okay, sure.
But instead of being so like, haha, and oh shit, I have to mention Mighty Car Mods for sure. They're definitely up there.
They used to be for me, but
that's the thing is Speed Academy. They've kind of they're like the Canadian Mighty Car Mods. And
have they started selling out?
No,
Okay.
no, not at all. And then actually, speaking of Australian, Shannon's Insurance.
I've never even heard of whatever the hell.
There's this Australian insurance company,
Okay.
and they're like the Australian version of Haggerty.
Oh, okay.
And they have really, really, really good. It's called Shan's Car Club, where they talk about a model of car,
That's kind of cool.
and they're really solid. Like, they
Well, they would probably have to be. I feel like a lot of the people that work for Collectors Insurance have
Yeah.
to know a lot.
no, like, there's a lot of shit that I didn't know about weird cars that they do. You know, the Australian collector market. So a lot of Skylines, Japanese stuff, Holdens, and European cars like Volvo, Amazons, and stuff like that. And they go into like the racing pedigrees of the car.
God damn.
And like, they go into like how they were designed and like how they sold, how they fared in the market.
That's
They did one
incredible.
on the Pulsar, which was like really, really good. That like I actually used when I was writing an article on the Pulsar for JapaneseNostalgiaCar.com.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. But yeah, no, that Shannon's is definitely up there. I'll probably think of something else while you're mentioning yours.
Yeah, I'll start. You can
I spend-
interject at any time.
I spend a
certainly.
lot of time on YouTube.
So I know this specifically says automotive shows and YouTube channels, but like, I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'll start with TV.
No, this replay. Oh shit! I totally forgot about TV. You go
for
first.
it. No, go for it.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
started yet, so you're good.
Okay, cool. Chasing Classic Cars.
Yep.
Favorite car show on TV right
Yep.
now. Period. 'Cause
Yep.
Top Gear went away. And now Top Gear is kind of all right.
Kinda
Actually,
did,
you know,
but
I'm not
still
gonna lie.
there.
Modern Top Gear, it's not the same. But if you go into it,
The new Top Gear is great.
If you go
Rory
into-
Reed, Chris Harris, and
if you go into new
LeBlanc.
Top Gear and you want a car review show,
Uh-huh.
but not Top Gear, that's a great show. Oh, and the Motor Week retro reviews.
Oh, God,
those are
yeah.
great too. But yeah, John Davis.
Welcome to Motor Week 88. We're glad to have you with us.
I love John
Today
Davis.
we have the Nissan Pulsar NX Turbo.
And then I know you weren't a fan of it, but JDM Legends
That
I
show
really liked.
sucks ass.
But it sucks ass because you don't like those kind of car build
No,
shows.
because they didn't do shit to any of them.
That they just did normal shop work.
Yeah, that's dumb.
You don't work in a shop. To me, that was
They're just like
endlessly
people
interesting.
pulling their nice cars out of storage, bringing them there, and then they just like start them and like clean all the fluids out and change everything, and then.
Have you ever
ta-da!
watched any car building show ever? It's either that or you have West Coast Customs.
But
like,
they act like they
putting
just
bubble.
reinvented like the ball bearing by like putting fresh oil in like a vintage
No, they ju-
Datsun 510 diff.
No, they just have a.
Anyway,
they have an annoying
Neither
producer.
here nor there. I'm glad you enjoy that
Yeah.
show.
So also maybe if Eric Bizek or Josh from the show wants to come on anytime,
Nope.
I'd be more than happy.
Nope.
They're actually really nice guys.
I'm sure they are.
I'm
They can come on if they want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them that they didn't do very well in the first episode that I watched.
No, I think it's more of a production thing.
Could be.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and whenever you have
I don't
any,
like that show.
the thing is with automotive TV
Better than
shows,
Fastest Car.
that was the worst thing I've ever seen in life. Any automotive TV show is going to suck, period. But the question is,
Yeah.
what
really
what
love Motor Week.
what level is it going to suck? Well, I mean, not car review, but like automotive TV show.
Oh, okay, sure.
They're
Yeah.
all going to suck,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at
yeah.
what level?
That's true.
Every now and then you have like something at Top Gear where it dominates everything, and you have Jeremy Clarkson being able to literally punch producers if he doesn't like them.
No, there was what was the actual word when they published the news story?
Like
It was
assaulted
like-
or something.
No, it was like a tussle or like
A tussle. That's what it was. It was a tussle.
just like
But like, no, it's things like you're gonna have that, or you're gonna have guys that are actual
fracas.
Yeah, fracas. That's what it
That's
was.
what it was.
It was a fracas. But no, you're gonna have guys like Jeremy Clarkson that they have enough clout in BBC that they can actually throw around their weight.
Yeah.
And it's very rare because the majority of them are going to be like the guys from JDM Legends, where they have to deal with a producer that knows nothing about cars
Right.
and doesn't know what to make interesting.
And probably a film crew too.
Yeah, and well, the thing is like they're sitting there like, yeah, like look at us, we put spark plugs in a Datsun, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, tell me about that 411 Bluebird wagon in the background right now, and they never did. So it's one of those things. Yeah, no, I think Chasing Classic Cars, if you're looking for a car review show that balances that, is probably the best one.
I do like Wayne Carini.
Yeah, he's
He's a
pretty
prick,
cool.
but I like him.
And Wheeler Dealers was cool.
Oh, fabulous show.
Before they got rid of what's his face?
Ed China?
Ed China, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Mike sucks. That guy, Ed China should have his own show. Nobody
he
actually.
does. That's a pilot now.
Nobody actually likes Mike. He doesn't do anything.
Hold on, your man. Let's do a deal.
We're gonna take
This 1974 BMW 2002 TII Kugelfish has been let stand 17 years. We're gonna turn a tidy profit on this cracking motor.
Yeah, literally, word for word a quote from him.
I just gave Corey like a small amount of cancer by doing
So
that.
yeah, no, I totally interrupted
Anyway.
you. Yeah, tell me about yours.
All right.
I'm actually really curious what yours are.
So-
I want to watch more stuff.
I'm gonna put the Motor Trend on Demand stuff under TV because it's not on YouTube anymore. The new stuff. So Roadkill.
Is it not?
No, it's all on their subscription service now.
That's so stupid.
My coworker has a subscription. I always log in, so it's fine. So Roadkill, Engine Masters, Roadkill Garage.
Ooh, Engine Masters is really
good.
I love Engine Masters.
The Ed China show we just talked about, Wheeler Dealers.
Oh, is that on there?
Yep, that's on there. Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee.
That's a great show. That's not. I guess that's a car show. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a car
Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee. I'll
is
put on there.
definitely a
That's
car show.
That's entertainment, but that is a great show.
That's the new UK Top Gear with Chris Harris and Rory Reid. Grand Tour, I still like that a lot. Moving to YouTube, the only automotive channels I really watch on YouTube is Motor Week Retro Reviews. Vizio Racer, if I really want to get my quirky fix on.
Vizio Racer. I totally forgot about it because I showed that to you.
And what else? My channel, Oval Bore, is really good.
Oval Bore is
Shameless
really good.
plug. Yeah, that guy knows what he's doing. That's pretty skookum. And then non-car related shit, AVE, best channel ever.
Oh, you don't want to get in the non-car related.
and
with me.
Robuz. Yeah, okay. We want to do car. Non-car review.
But no, actually Vizio Racer. So this is a channel by this guy from like Croatia or something. Or
We'll show you all 16-cylinder engines ever made.
Yeah,
this
he's-
one has particularly odd configuration with 90-degree front cylinder, 65-degree back cylinder with 7 carburetor.
and split crank pins.
Yeah.
Ah.
He just like has this incredible like super in-depth stuff, but like, it sounds like he's like a 15-year-old
No,
dude with peanut butter in his
He's
mouth.
I think he's actually from Poland, if I'm not mistaken. But no, for the majority, he's only started doing voiced over videos the last year or two.
He's got a lot of good info.
But for the longest time, he didn't voice him over because he's got a crazy thick accent, and he thought people weren't gonna be about it. And he actually ended up-
Regular car reviews. Fuck.
Oh
Regular
shit!
car
Oh well,
reviews.
yeah. Oh yeah, we got that one. But no, the Vizio Racer, he finally started doing them, and people were like, "No, your accent's fine. I actually want to learn this stuff."
Yeah,
And
it makes the video.
Yeah, it really does. And he finds like he just does all of his research super well. Every now and then he does something that's a little. Well, it's something that's like off by like a little bit, but it's one of those things where if you're translating from English to Polish, I can understand how you're getting that wrong.
And usually the on-screen info is correct, even
Yeah.
if he says it wrong.
And he, and then if he,
Or vice
some of
versa.
the things where he does his opinion-based ones, like the 7 most reliable engines.
Those
or
are
whatever.
really horseshit because there were a lot of German engines in
well.
the most reliable.
So
thing.
this is the thing. I'm thinking you have to look at it like,
He had the Audi 4.2 V8 on his most reliable engines list.
and let's look at it from a perspective of living in Poland, and this is what's available to you.
It's really bad
I know it's a bad engine.
everywhere.
I know it is, but if you're in Poland and what else do you have to compare?
It's just
to
his
it to?
favorite engines. That's all it is.
Yeah, which that one I'm gonna gripe on him for, but overall, I think Vizio Racer is totally worth watching. Even those favorite engine videos or whatever.
Yeah.
like those ones are still pretty
They're
cool.
fine.
Like
I don't
he
go
does-
out of my way to click on a brand new one from him if it's that.
Yeah, if it's something like the 15 smallest V16s ever.
Those are pretty cool.
Those
yeah.
are great. Or like
And like
the biggest
engine displacement under like 50 cc per cylinder.
Yeah,
in
or like
automotive
the
applications.
largest engines ever produced ever. And then he like talks about like weird trains, like 4
Is it a
cylinders.
dirigible?
Yeah, and like the Emma Maersk like 252,000 liter inline 8 that they
He's
have.
Slovakian.
Yeah. Oh, he is Slovakian. Okay. But yeah, no, he's a really cool guy. I highly recommend it. Vizio Racer.
Wow, I just read through his channel description. It's not nearly as broken as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
But anyway. Oh, shoot. That's the last of our topics for this.
Do you have? Are there? I'm trying to think of. I know we're gonna be missing something.
Well, I mean, we usually do interesting engineering, but we don't have anything right now.
No, we don't. But no, I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing a channel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, let me just log into YouTube. I mean, see what I got in there. There's probably something.
Best Motoring.
I haven't seen that one.
Best Motoring is Japanese Top Gear.
Okay.
It's
but not the actual Japanese Top Gear.
No, it's not. It's Nobuteru Taniguchi. Nob Taniguchi is a famous drift racer.
Isn't a Tamagotchi the thing you carry around?
That's
with
Tamagotchi.
Oh.
One letter different, or one character different. Oops. But it's Nob Taniguchi, Keiichi Tsuchiya, the father of drift, Keiichi Tsuchiya. And they review cars from Japan.
Okay.
But they don't only review, like, factory cars, but they do, like, tuned cars, too, from different shops, like the Seeker Civic or the M plus M Honda NSX. I need to name something that's not a Honda. Because I just watch the Honda videos, usually. RA-Mimiya, RX-7s. But then
Nothing obscure at all.
When they do their races, they have a racetrack kind of like the Top Gear track, but it's a toge track. It's a private mountain road that they've closed off.
Oh yeah, you and Ben were talking about that a little bit.
And they do toge races on their private road and see who does the best time. They compare all the lap times.
Oh, another one, fully charged.
What's that?
That's a EV only.
Okay.
Channel. It's you really have to be expecting to be talked at by EV people who are the worst people ever, but a bunch of really good information.
You're only going to get talked at by EV people. That's all that happens.
After you talk about what you're talking about, I got something to talk about from yesterday really briefly.
Oh, no, tell me.
Okay, so there's a MN plugin owner group on Facebook, and the post yesterday was like, does anyone even know a person who went from an EV back to an ICE? And I posted, yeah, my neighbor sold his Tesla and bought a V8 Vantage. And, like, just getting, like, angry reactions. Like, wow, like, who would do that? And, like, everyone else is like, God damn, no, who would do that? They're like, oh, EVs are the best. I'm like, dude, EVs are wonderful. They're really awesome. But, like, why do you got to be like that, man? They're not the be and end all of vehicles. There are still things that they don't do nearly as well as ICE vehicles.
I think EV people, that'll be the only thing that
They're
I don't
the
like.
worst people
Yeah,
ever.
it's like EV people and like Cressida people. They can both like eat my ass. I hate people like that.
And Mustang people.
Cressida people are pretty bad. Because Cressida people are just like, they're the most entitled little prick drift kids. I hate them so much. They're just awful.
That makes me want to like go get a Crown and just show up and park next to all the Cressida drift kids. Like, oh, suck it.
God, I just hate them.
A Crown would be such a cool drift car.
That'd be a really cool drift car, right? Especially, or if you get a Century.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry,
Yeah,
I meant the Century, the V12 one.
The Crown is a Lexus LS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely meant Century then.
Or if you got a super old Toyota Crown, like a 55,
That'd be pretty
like
cool,
first
too.
gen Toyota
I would
Crown.
feel bad doing that to one of those.
They're pretty cool cars. One more YouTube channel I want to mention.
Yeah.
Petrolicious. Really, really, really beautiful videos. Cool stories. God, do they get preachy.
Yeah, I didn't mention them on purpose just because of... If you watch a Petrolicious video on mute, really good. It's a really good video.
There's some that are good, but it's just like...
But if you listen to it with the voiceover and the audio, I'm just like, nope.
There's they did the one on the first generation CRX, and that one I thought was really cool. I think that you should watch that one. You should also watch the Scott Coletti's Subaru 360 van. I'm not mentioning that because these are personal friends of mine.
Their cinematography is really good there.
Yeah. But I definitely did not just mention those two cars because those are personal friends. Those are just
We heard you the first time.
And
Right.
entirely me being an honest, non-biased reviewer.
There's no nepotism here at all.
And MotorCult? No. I think that should be our bombshell for the episode and move
fine
on.
with me.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to me list every YouTube channel I watch. Also,
Ryan's really good at name dropping and nepotism.
Star Wars Explained, Crash Course,
And
extra credits,
we will catch you guys on Wednesday.
new Retro Wave.
Bye.